Before this video starts, I would like to say this is an extended version of the other Scissor 7 video I made ranking the seasons. So if you want to just see my thoughts on season 5, then skip to this timestamp. Thank you. Scissor 7 tells an amazing story which is currently divided into 5 arcs in the animated series. There has been ongoing discussions on fans' thoughts and rankings of the 5 arcs in the anime. Today, I'm going to be ranking these 5 arcs and telling y'all why I think the way I do about these arcs. Before I actually get into my list, just know that this is my opinion, so don't get offended by what I have to say. It's not like I care anyway. Coming in last place, I have season 1. It hurts to put such a good introduction season like season 1 at last place, but season 1 is definitely last place for me. We're introduced to Seven as a character and his flaws in the funniest way possible during the first episode. An amnesic Chinese barber that ponders about the thought of who he really is whilst being on this goofy island. We're seen with the fact that he's constantly hard to be an assassin but never kills people, with the episode having a goofy undertone when Seven is around. Through him not killing people, it leads to his and his target's growth. This leads to them being able to truly express themselves and look at things in a new light. A clear example of Seven's influence is with characters like Underpants Man and how he was criticized and targeted for assassination because he is a panty collector. Seven doesn't only save him from execution from Chairman Jiang, but also challenges Underpants Man's worldview of living as he is regardless of what others think. The Island Purity Society ran by Chairman Jiang, who Seven was hired by to assassinate Underpants Man, has a strict moral compass to say nonetheless. Her strict moral compass and strong sense of duty to eliminate what she deemed as impure clashed with Seven's empathy. They had the funniest fight in the season because of how goofy the overall plot of this episode was, which goes for other episodes in the season too, because this is one of the funniest seasons in the series. But anyways, another example is when he was hired to assassinate Mad Bark by Meow Kitty. Seven empathizes with Mad Bark after his failed assassination attempt, and learning Mad Bark's backstory, then proceeded to make up with Meow Kitty for Mad Bark, allowing Mad Bark to open up emotionally. Even though it is crazy to get a random person who you just met to talk to your girl that you haven't talked to in years for you, 13 is introduced well between the drama these 3 characters are going through. And throughout season 1, we see 13 warm up to 7 and how 13 foils 7 in that she's what 7 struggles against with his identity, and that he's what she represses, her emotional vulnerability and lack of empathy. 7 does all of these things due to his own accord and not because he was asked to. Season 1 episodes show the overall agency of Seven's character. Something season 1 does really well compared to the rest of the seasons is the show don't tell aspect of the storytelling, and how much each battle he becomes much more mysterious with reveals and glimpses of his true power and past show. Chairman Jiang and 13 work as great foils to 7 in this season. Daibo shares many similarities to 7, like with their character both meaning to represent escapism in a different way, with Daibo's distrust being the one thing that contrasts them. We see this in the way Daibo acts, having absolutely no regard for anybody's life on the island. Later in the season, we get a perfect reason as to why Daibo acts the way he does though. Even though Seven and Daibo do indirectly impact each other, their relationship isn't the biggest dynamic in this show right now. We're just introduced to a great set of fleshed out side characters, antagonists that feel natural to the progression of the episodes, and yeah, Season 1 has great world building too, as the main setting Chicken Island gets fleshed out throughout Season 1. We're given these extra episodes that gives us depth to 13 and Daibo's character and a larger scope of other contrasting settings. The whole Stan episode proves that he can't live the way he currently does if he wants to find out who he was. The Stan episodes prove that Seven can't just get through any sort of situation by always using a comedy mask. Now, while I do find all these to be strengths of Scissor 7's writing, the weaknesses is each episode is episodic and there are only 5 episodes that tie into each other. The pacing is supposed to be in tune with Seven's mental state, but it's still a bad thing that these episodes feel more random compared to other seasons where it's more smooth episode to episode. Its pacing is the most off and not very unique. It's the introduction season, so it's a bit more understandable, but this is still a flaw nonetheless. Why do you think people drop Scissor 7 this season, but not drop it season 4, even though people claim season 4 to be the worst season? Even though people do drop Scissor 7 at season 1 sometimes, they pick it back up and they call it peak. That's how you know this show is peak, and I really want y'all to watch it. But anyways, oh wait, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna scrap this into the recording. Another way 7 changed people's views was the episode with Cola. The episode everybody knows, even if they don't know Scissor 7 like that. Basically, Cola had cancer and she wanted to live out her life to the fullest on the same day that she hired 7 to assassinate her. So her goal was to have some fun and then get assassinated, because she ultimately believed that cancer was such a restriction of her living a full life that she would agree for 7 to take her life. But what 7 did was, he not only told her that her life has meaning, he proceeded to recommend her a doctor that could cure cancer, even though ultimately he could not cure cancer. But moving on, I also forgot to talk about the insane fights in this season. The 7 versus Stan fight is so good. It might be the best or one of the best in the show. This fight is not the best in the show, even though it has really funny Dragon Ball references. This season has really good references overall, like the Ace Attorney reference in episode 1. But yeah, moving on. Actually, I'm totally not trying to make this video longer because of watch time, by the way. At number 4, I have season 2. You could say season 1 and season 2 fall under the same arc, but not only is season 2 noticeably different from season 1, I'm already too far in. We see 7's past gradually resurface and how it takes a toll on his mental. Plot points in season 2 force 7 past the surface. Greater stakes and consequences are unfolding. Even though this may be the case, the balance between humor and seriousness is still handled well. Take the funny moments from season 1 and just multiply them by 1000. This show never gets old. Even in super serious moments, like with season 1, they are portrayed in most comedic way possible, whilst it makes sense and is still funny. For example, the Chun has this ability where he can turn into a solid state form named Indestructible Virgin, which is definitely counterintuitive name to how he is in later seasons. And 7 just waxed the final boss of the season, Red Tooth, with him, while it's displayed as a fighting game format, so imagine just Street Fighter. But anyways, this wasn't even the funniest joke in the season. Scissor 7 has some of the best balance between humor and seriousness, and this aspect is done extremely well in season 2. 7's character conflict throughout the season is meant to be about his struggle between his assassin killer past and his current identity. Even throughout his internal-external conflict, he's able to form strong bonds with people and stronger bonds with his friends, and they're able to keep him grounded. 13 and 7's dynamic throughout this season shifts dramatically. 13 and 7 form a closer bond with one another, even though 13 is still conflicted. But anyways, back on Red Tooth, every fight he was in was done well. He definitely knows how to push every character physically, either it be 7 or Chairman. Like his first encounter with 7, he tests his assassin skills, and my goodness, he gives 7 a run for his money. Thematical wise, as of season 2, he isn't meant to be much of anything besides representing the Chairman's guilt. There is big mystery surrounding his character that makes him intriguing for us viewers to watch. The conflict between the Chairman and Red Tooth is executed very well, and we're left wondering about Red Tooth's significance and what happened between them in the past. We're left interested in why the Chairman acts the way she does towards him in season 2. This character that foils 7, who's all about duty and justice, but also simultaneously we're getting a past decision that much adds depth to her character and makes me like that about her. During season 2, we see the world building expand beyond the island, but all of it centers around Chicken Island. In 7's connections to those around him, the setting expands. We get episodes centered around characters like Daibo, Cola, and even more than that. Most of the side cast shows up to back up 7 in the final fight, giving him courage. So I think they were utilized pretty well this season. I couldn't put this season above something like season 3 or season 4. The series gradually gets better and better. I'd say the core plot could have been built up better than how it was executed. I also wish we saw more scenes with 7 and 13. The only episode that feels out of place is Meowba episode. It doesn't narratively pack the season at all, to be honest, but it was still a pretty funny episode, so we'll just give it the benefit of the doubt. At number 3, I have season 4. Wasn't expecting season 4 to be worse than season 3, were you? Huh. Well then, this was the best anime fight we saw in any anime back in 2023. Honestly, that cliffhanger we got back in 2021 was totally worth it, because transitioning from this was insane. The movement was fluid, the choreography was unique, and it goes extremely well with the way 7 fights. The art style and visuals had me mesmerized that entire fight. These sequence of events remind me of Mob Psycho 100. It's not crazy to say that without a doubt, season 4 has the best fights we've seen out of any season so far, out of the Netflix seasons we have for Scissor 7. Even in the fight where White Fox is fighting Park Fodder, shit gets to pop. This was the season where 7 was at his lowest. During the season's briefing rooms, we see how 7 acts at his lowest. Cold, distant, reserved, a more regressed version of his character. Almost as if he's reverting back to that assassin mindset he once had. Not only is he losing control of his powers, but he fears using them would hurt the ones he cares about. On top of that, Chicken Island is under attack by a person from the Shadow Killer League. This season definitely does have some controversial pacing, but I think that the pacing is supposed to be chaotic. The pacing is meant to reflect 7's mental state, and even though it is chaotic, we still get even better build up to the climax of the season. I think this season does a good job portraying the 3 conflicts at the same time. Speaking of conflict, oh my god, Red Tooth is back. People in the fandom have expressed the opinion of not liking the fact that no important character has gotten killed off so far, even though Green Phoenix did, let's be real. I think that killing off a character as dislikable as Red Tooth in season 2 isn't bad writing. Red Tooth owes the chairman so much that death would just be an easy way to escape for him, if you think about it. Red Tooth and the chairman's backstory was elaborated on. Red Tooth was definitely in the wrong, but it's not one-sided, and that's what I like about backstories in Scissor 7. Red Tooth and the chairman had a falling out due to lack of communication and chairman's lack of empathy as well. In a different lens, you could say that Red Tooth was also justified in getting demon blood and crashing out. Back to Red Tooth owing the chairman a lot. It's clear that she was the one to command him to protect the island in exchange for his seal being removed. The chairman's apology and gift to Red Tooth is him to redeem himself. That's beautiful, and it ties in with the themes of the show. If Red Tooth were to die sacrificing himself for the chairman, then that'd be way more impactful than the chairman not making it her duty to save Red Tooth and let him die. I also want to talk about Green Phoenix and 13. I don't think that Green Phoenix distracts from the other plot lines that's happening during the season. I mean, after all, he was a part of the Shadow Killer League and he was a main villain. The Shadow Killers are the main villains, and Green Phoenix is shown to have his own ties to the League and reasons to his actions during the last episode and other episodes centered around him. This makes us able to draw more comparisons and tie in the fact that 7 and 13 are really more alike than they think, as Green Phoenix is literally just an evil Daibo counterpart, since he raised 7 as a pawn. 13 is already conflicted with 7's crippling mental. She wants to protect him, but she can't and is more emotionally vulnerable. Her dealing with that and the supposed kidnapping of her master is the perfect setup. Overall, season 4 has the season of climaxes, and it left on a good cliffhanger. Now on to the GOAT! The second best season of Scissor 7 would have to be season 3, bro. This season got me in my emotions. I rewatched this twice. First time, me loving it. Second time, me getting my hair braided, moving up and down, looking at the screen, seeing 7 protect 13 and realize everything was fine. This season conveys what we like about the show already, at its full potential, with 7's astonishing performance and victory over the Demon Blood, and the fact he had multiple assassins chasing after him, attacking people on Chicken Island. He had to escape and embark on his journey outside the island at the end. This is another great episode where 7 gives people another chance at redemptions, even though the circumstances are completely against him. This shows that even though my GOAT 7 is still struggling with his past, he still has a core part of his character. Even though he's dealing with immense pressure and multiple internal and external conflicts, he prevails. Throughout the rest of the season, we see 7 explore the outside of Chicken Island. Something really interesting this season does, it uses a lot of callbacks, earlier dialogue, and explanations from season 1 and season 2. We see Dachshund's past expanded upon through 7 mistakenly stopping at Rock Hard Country. We see 7 go to Zanwu because of Cola being in critical condition, mainly because of a resident of Stan, someone who told the audience about the history between Zanwu and Stan. Throughout the first part this season, we see what 7 is like at his mentally highest, aside from season 5, and consciously balances his assassin strength and his current identity. The best thing about this season is the main characters developing. Remember what I said about Daibo in season 1? Throughout his journey with 7, he becomes more grounded and trusting of 7, as what we see from his behavior when they invade Zanwu. 7 ends up letting Daibo escape, and we get to see Daibo vigilantly be concerned. Daibo throughout this season knows what the real world can do to people. He kept lying to 7 about the safety of Chicken Island and realizes he can't keep up this fake act anymore. Daibo sees himself in 7, but as the difference between them allows Seven to empathize and build trust in people, this sparks a change within Daibo. This allows Daibo to evolve and not just be a dumb sidekick like Rigby is to Mordecai, like what you would see with Finn and Jake. Notice how this is the only instance of grooming helping somebody for the better. This just proves that Daibo is the GOAT. Okay, I'm definitely gonna remove this from the script and from the video. Maybe. 13 and 7's relationship this season could be written as a 10-page essay, honestly. We see that Green Phoenix truly only views 13 as a pawn, disregarding her feelings, which leads to 13 stabbing 7. But in simple terms, a parallel to 7 getting stabbed by someone in the past. This act of betrayal leads 13 into a more understanding person, and her beginning to be influenced by 7's kindness, leading to her protecting him. This also begs the question as to why Green Phoenix didn't want 13 to kill 7 all of a sudden. 7 actively shows 13 kind gestures, even though she wronged him and stabbed him with poison that led his assassin side to resurface. Something I like about the ending of season 3 is the fact that it shows 7 and 13 with the rest of the cast overall having a good time. It happens in 7's head. This is interesting because 7 wanted to not forget about his new self, holding onto his memories on Chicken Island as help, which made him not tweak. And let me tell you this season doesn't have the best fights, but man, 13's fight with Blackbird was so fire and is in the top 5 fight conversations if we're being honest. 13 gets a cool, funny, emotional, evoking moment with 7. This shows her new resolve wanting to protect 7, even empathizing with him before the fight.
It was perfect. Perfect.
This isn't a problem that mainly season 3 has. I know I should have talked about this before, but I think that the main antagonist, the Shadow Killers, is a weird group. They don't get shit done, and their goals don't make sense. Their goals don't align with each other. White Fox's goals didn't make sense. This has to be the worst leader ever. Anybody in the group can do whatever the hell they want until the leader feels like something is wrong after 2 obvious signs later and then starts targeting people. Green Phoenix's plan against the League proved this. They're oblivious, they were inattentive, and got outsmarted essentially. Or not even outsmarted, common sense! As a group, they don't function. This can be the point though, and I could just be overlooking things, but come on now. The best of the best. Scissor 7 season 5, baby. This season sent me into an emotional roller coaster, bro. You just wouldn't get it unless you've seen my live reaction to everything that went down in this season. As of writing this specific portion of this video, it is currently November 11th, one day before the actual season dropped. I had to renew my Netflix subscription, specifically the one with ads. And yes, I will be watching the show while I am in school. This show is just so good that the teachers will understand me not doing my assignments for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Now, onto what makes this season the best Scissor 7 season there is. Before the next portion of the video starts, aka spoiler territory, I would like to announce that season 5 of Scissor 7 has been released on Netflix already. Please support the Netflix anime before you decide to watch this portion of the video. Thank you.
This is fun. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun.
This season is about putting all the puzzle pieces together in your own way. Keep that in mind. The very first episode we get is a continuation from the last episode. 7 and Hua are trying to expel the poison from 7's body. So they go through this special mission to do so, which, oh man, the quality here is insane. And 7 looks the best he's ever looked before with his hair down. The next episode has us watch a beautifully animated sequential fight scene between 7 and Hua, where 7 loses control and fights on his killer instinct. The animators knew what they were doing, and the person who conceptualized every sequence of this fight scene is perfect. I mean, come on. Just look at this moment right here. Fights like this are the reason why this season has the best fights, but more on that point later. 7 fell unconscious before each of them could pull off their finishing blows. Cinematic ad fight scene, if I say so myself. Our D1 jumper, GOAT, Red Tooth, fulfilled his promise to Chairman Jiang and ended up fighting off that bum White Fox from destroying the island. We even see Retu become a fully reformed citizen, leading the Island Purity Society. And oh man, what a beautiful route to take his character. And I'm genuinely interested in seeing his development. Everything went so well, and all of his actions have made sense so far. This is how Retu is putting his puzzle pieces together so far, realizing what he's done was wrong and not living for himself anymore. Episode 3 continues off from the Chairman Jiang and Retu plot point from Season 4. It's finally been resolved, and as I said before, if Season 4 is the season of climaxes, Season 5 is the season of falling actions, kind of. I know I never said that before, but it just makes so much sense seeing everything that occurs during this season. Let's talk about the pacing real quick. The pacing of the season is not controversial at all, and the season will definitely appeal to a lot more people because of its more linear storytelling. But anyways, let's get off my side tangent. Seven's main goal ever since departing from Hua in episode 2 has been to find 13 and help her. Since the poisons have been released from Seven's body, Seven has a high chance of losing his current self at any moment. However, he doesn't have an active poison driving him into madness like in Season 3. This chance of losing himself is exactly what brings us to episode 9. The second best episode of the season. We're met with Seven visiting a gravesite that gives him a sense of nostalgia. The eyeless sorcerer appears out of nowhere on some BS, and then proceeds to tell him a story which alludes to Seven's past, which causes him to have a mental breakdown, remembering everything. Eyeless sorcerer gets ready to kill him because of the prophecy saying that Seven will lose control. Everything looks so hopeless for my guy Seven, until suddenly we're met with a scene of Killer Seven seemingly holding all this malice within him, until suddenly Seven we get the best moment ever of Seven hugging and accepting his past self, showing us that he's truly different than who he was before. His ability to move forward and create a new identity for himself shows in this moment. We put the pieces together, figuring out that the girl in white from Seven's past wasn't trying to kill him and intentionally screw him over. No, it was to give Seven a fresh new start. I am skeptical about Barber Seven's dialogue here in this specific moment though. Hear me out. Seven, even before getting inflicted by poison, was already capable of being a good person, as we saw him protecting the girl in white before she stabbed him in the back. Killer Seven was able to grow a genuine bond with another human, so we can't just say that Killer Seven was completely different from Barber Seven, can we? Then again, Killer Seven's status was literally him being the #1 ranked assassin, and looking at that in comparison to Barber Seven, it's not a bad thing that he said this now that I think about it. After damn near being assaulted by a group of big ass balls, Seven just says, "It is what it is," and offers to give the baldy a haircut even though he has no hair, which shows that the comedy is still blatant in the show. This season is overall funny if we're being real. I wouldn't say it's the funniest season, but man, episode 4 had me on the edge of my seat, while still making me be able to laugh and giggle over subtle moments like Zan and Seven being flustered over the fact that their faces are so close to each other it looks like they're about to kiss. If you just watch this season fully expecting serious moments, then you're kind of just missing the point of the season in general. I advise y'all to pay attention to these more subtle moments in this season. Yes, 13 is on her own timing with her trying to rescue Green Phoenix and whatnot, but something most people won't realize is that in the ending outro of this season, 13 is looking for Seven. She rides around Chicken Island trying to find him until she stops. She stays in place for a while as if she's waiting for him, until suddenly she's smiling, letting us know that Seven finally arrived. She only acts like a loner for a little bit, but she eventually gets help from Seven to try to save Green Phoenix. And I say save like that because come on now, we know damn well he's dead. This leads us to the final episode of this amazing season, and honestly, that fight scene deserves an entire video of its own because oh my god, that fight is literally perfect. Seven's creativity with his swords and scissors, him sheathing his own damn straight sword, which precisely sheathing a weapon like that demonstrates skill alone, is just chef's kiss, baby. You know what? Screw it. There is no harm talking about this fight, but I will still make an alternative video analyzing this fight. We're introduced to Nine, a new shadow killer named Nine. With his appearance, alone scaring the shit out of a fraudulent veteran of a shadow killer. He basically went through the same experimental phase as 7 as well. 9 proceeds to snatch 7's chain not too far into the fight. 7 cannot handle this dude, not until getting a top 5 moment in the season with him saying, "Nah, F that, I'ma fight like I always have" on some Shadow the Hedgehog shit, and knock 9 into a spiral of references from this previous season. For real though, this fight has a lot of nice callbacks. Let's back up a little though. I really enjoy the fact that they're not just making 7's character change randomly. It's a very smooth process with 7 venting his frustration about not being as strong as his past self. He then realizes that, nah, I'ma do my own thing. My experiences so far should make me strong enough, including the experiences with my past being in the form of the Thousand Demon Dagger, obviously, but his scissors too. For some reason, whenever people make a scissor user list, they don't put 7 in first place. And let me tell you, after seeing this fight, your mind will be completely changed, as he is dead-ass using scissors like how he uses the Thousand Demon Daggers. He also adds a more unique twist to it. Ryuko, I'm sorry my baby, but you got nothing on 7. A little bit of power scaling for my Scissor 7 power scalers out there. Curate 7 using his full arsenal should be equal to Killer 7. There is no way this is not the case with this type of performance. And I've always interpreted that moment where he's asking how he can put all the puzzle pieces together and then realizing he needed to use his current experience as him now being able to fight on the same level as his past self. Hell, he even said that he needed the power of his old self to fight with 9. Another funny thing I saw was somebody saying this fight was inconclusive when, let's be real, 7 definitely won. In conclusion, Season 5, the season of falling actions, resolves most plot points from last season perfectly and shows us how 7 put his puzzle pieces together in his own way. We see development from more characters as well, with them also fitting the puzzle pieces together. Season 5 had the best fights out of any season, with fights that required characters to use cool strategies to overpower opponents in the coolest way possible, and also had smoothly sequenced fights. Fights this season also had the emotional weight, making them more impactful and meaningful. This season set me through an emotional roller coaster. That was when I watched this a year ago, and I hope this season does the same for y'all. And yes, I will make a separate video analyzing 7 and 9's fight. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Peace out.